Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, interesting news in the heavyweight division in regards to one Joseph Parker. Now, Joseph Parker is one of New Zealand's very own, and it's being reported by Boxing Scene that Joseph Parker and his team, Dave Higgins, are exploring a fight with another fighter from New Zealand, a fighter that many of you may not be as familiar with, but a fighter that is currently ranked in the WBO, and that is Junior Fa. Junior Fa, right now he's currently 19-0, undefeated with 10 KOs, hasn't really fought anybody worth mentioning. His most notable name is Dominic Gwynn. Some of you might know Dominic Gwynn. He was like 43 years old when he fought him though. So Junior Fa hasn't really fought anybody, but it could be an important fight because it would be the biggest fight probably in the history of New Zealand, because a lot of times, New Zealand's not a big country to begin with, and the fact that they have two fighters ranked in the top 10 of the WBO, it makes sense for them to explore this option now if they can't get the big fights with Dillian Whyte or Derek Chisora or Usyk or Hrgovic or any of the other guys. So let's get into the comments. This is Dave Higgins, one of the promoters of Joseph Parker. Here's what he said in regards to the Junior Fa fight. He said, I quote, Junior Fa is unbeaten and Joseph Parker is in his prime. To match them up now would be sensible. It's being discussed as a serious and realistic option. If it didn't happen now, then it might not never happen. Fa might take a loss, Joseph might retire. So the reason it's being discussed now is because it kind of makes sense to do it now. That being said, the commercials and financials have to work, and the stars have to align. That the number that Fa wants has to be viable. If he prices himself out, it won't happen. It would have to be a matchroom event, and it's been discussed between them and us. It could be on par with the David Tua Cameron fight. The local derbies can sometimes be as big as the world title fights, and an event like this in the winter in Auckland Spark Park Arena could stop the country. So listen, big Dave Higgins talking some big boy talk straight up. Now, I mentioned earlier, Parker's ranked number 2 by the WBO. Fa is ranked number 6, so a win for either one of them moves them up in the rankings and positions them for a world title opportunity. From the Parker side of things, let's just look at this objectively for a second. In 2018, just after Joseph Parker had defeated Alexander Flores, Kevin Berry stated that Junior Fa had been offered an offer worth $500,000. And Junior Fa and his team turned it down. So now it's coming up again, and there is a chance for the country of New Zealand to get their big heavyweight fight between two of their very own. Now listen, Fa is a guy that's never fought on the world level at all. He's never even sniffed the world level. He's just one of those guys that you know how these sanctioning bodies do. There's always one or two guys in every sanctioning body in the top 10 that don't deserve to be there, but they're there for whatever reason, whether it could be because their promoters paid money or they just beat one opponent who was in the that was in the top 10 that didn't deserve to be there. He's one of those guys, and he's never fought in the professional ranks, or in the not the professional ranks, at the elite level in the professional ranks, and I've had a chance to watch Junior Fa fight once or twice. And he's a big 6'5" rugged heavyweight, but I didn't really see anything special about him. Now when we look at Joseph Parker is a guy that's been world champion. He's beat Andy Ruiz. He's fought Anthony Joshua. He's fought Dillian Whyte. He's been involved in big fights and fought some of the best there is. He's got a great resume for the guys he's fought in his career. So I can see from the Joseph Parker side of things that this could be a step back. And you know what? I'll even take it a step further. This could even be a step back in comparison to his last opponent, because his last fight he fought Shondell Winters. And Shondell Winters is an unknown fighter to most of us, and he was unknown to me until fight week. But Shondell Winters was good enough to beat undefeated prospects Alexander Teslenko and capture an NABA title. So at least he has that that feather in his cap. Junior Fa has never done anything like that as a heavyweight. He's never done anything like that. He's just a big, strong, rugged 6'5" guy who, his claim to fame is that he won the WBO Oriental interim heavyweight title. So, make of that what you will, but this fight is being explored as Joseph Parker's next fight. Personally, look, I don't want to see this fight. I personally think this is a step back for Joseph Parker. And my thing is this: if the offer was already made to Junior Fa for $500,000 in 2018, and he turned it down, then move on. I mean, I understand it's a big fight for the country. I understand you want to do the big event for the country, New Zealand. So I fully understand where Joseph Parker, Dave Higgins, Duco events are coming from. But I mean, the guy is a step. He's a step back. Like, your last opponent was a guy in Shondell Winters that people looked at as an unknown no-hoper, right? And he's a more accomplished heavyweight than Junior Fa, whose claim to fame is winning the WBO Oriental title. So my thing is this: I like Joseph Parker. I rate him. I think he's a top 5 caliber heavyweight if he's at his best. And this fight to me wouldn't really do much for his career. I would see him stopping Junior Fa very quickly, sometime before the 7th round, as far as on his level. So personally, I'm hoping that this fight that doesn't happen, but I am reporting on it because I think it is worth reporting on. You know, this could be the biggest heavyweight fight New Zealand's maybe ever had. And now they mentioned David Tua versus what's his name, Cameron. I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about that fight. So while I'm talking to you guys, I'm gonna look it up. David Tua versus whoever this Cameron guy is, because I don't know what they're talking about. But you know, Eddie Hearn, I'm sure Eddie Hearn likes to go to new places, new markets. You know, and New Zealand is a place that would be considered a new market. Yes, they're talking about David Tua versus Shane Cameron. They fought in 2009. So yeah, could be a big fight. We don't know, but that's the news. Joseph Parker, Dave Higgins, and all parties involved are exploring a New Zealand, and I say this specifically, a New Zealand heavyweight super fight between Joseph Parker and Junior Fa. I think it's a really big step backwards for Joseph Parker because Junior Fa is not even better than Shondell Winters as far as accomplishments go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this potential fight for Joseph Parker. I'd be very interested to get the New Zealand perspective on it. So if there's anybody from New Zealand that comes across this video, Joseph Parker fans, Junior Fa fans, let me know in the comments down below what you think about this fight. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.